look at the left, you can see the mirror hanging on the wall that we still have today. Like, it's not like the Gaiety where you had the booths. It's actually a much bigger, it's like 690 capacity in the theatre. You had soft cushion seats and then hard benches, so you didn't have the same level of posh people and people with their own private booths. You had two kind of tiers of seating, which made it more accessible to ordinary people too. And then the third picture is a picture taken just after the fire. Now, we're really lucky to have that picture because if you're trying to salvage things after a fire in the 1950s, you're probably not thinking about taking photographs. Nowadays we might take photographs, but in the 1950s, I suppose when the smoke was billowing out, people started to take paintings and costumes, and then the fire brigade came in. So the biggest problem with salvage was everything was wet. And a couple of people got huge ropes and laid them across the auditorium and hung all the garments on them. Wet garments, damaged garments, dry garments, smoke damaged garments. And they began to move them to Rupert's Guinness Hall up on Thomas Street. Used to use that as the old theatre. But it's just really interesting to have you can see the size of the stage. The stage was actually tiny. And there was a lot of stories that when you exited stage left, you couldn't go around the back of the stage. You had to go out the door, out onto the street, around to the front, and come in the other side. So the shows had to be kind of navigated to stay either stage left or stage right. And then the last picture is of the Queen's Theatre, which was across the river near Pier Street there, just like it was a beautiful big old theatre. It used to be a music hall. And the Abbey, they had a short spell in the Guinness Theatre and then they moved there for about 15 years. Stephen Ray, does anyone know Stephen Ray, a brilliant Irish actor? He said that it was such a dusty and smelly place that the people used to think he was method acting because he was always scratching because there was fleas in the seats. But Stephen Ray would have worked there as well, like at the beginning of his career. So that would have been like 1963, 1964, which is, he doesn't seem that old, Stephen Ray. But they did a lot of interviews with people. You can listen to them on our website, maybe nice. So you can see it's the Queen's. It's a much bigger theatre, and you can see that the Abbey Theatre is running there at the time.
What building is there now? The Queen, what building is that now on
It's
Pierce?
gone.
Okay.
And you see, like Ernest Blythe was a minister in Ireland, and he fought in the Revolution, but he took over the management of the theatre. And when the Abbey got burnt down, he really wanted money to be raised to build a new theatre. So they kind of let that theatre go. They should have restored it. But if they restored that, they wouldn't have had enough money to build the Abbey. So I think people were sad in the end that they let it go, but they leveled it, sadly.